Disclaimer: this story is entirely fictional. Any resemblance to real people or events is purely coincidental. Number Part 1. February 12, 2025, La Mirada, California. I've been living in this nursing home for over a year now. I keep telling myself I should write a memoir, keep thinking about it day after day, because I'm afraid that if I suddenly die, there'll be no trace of me left in this world. Not just me, either. Most people around here never think about recording their lives in words. When they're gone, everything about them just quietly fades away. I've started and stopped so many times, write a bit, delete it, start again, delete again. I don't know if I'll stick with it this time either, but I'll treat it like a diary. Maybe a con man's diary, in a world full of con men. Everyone's life is a book, and I suppose mine is too. I was born on February 2, 1986. My grandmother said I came early, barely 5 pounds and 7 ounces, and my father's mother wanted to throw me away, said I wouldn't survive. My maternal grandmother stopped her, and because of that, I grew up with my grandparents. Both my parents are deaf and mute, born in 1960. My mother, Gao Ping, was from Hailing District in Taizhou City, and my father originally came from a village in Baoxu Town, Jianjun. He moved to the city when they got married because back then, an urban household registration was better than a rural one. Ironically, not long after, rural huqiao became more valuable. I can't explain exactly why, but I grew up hearing people say my father had bad luck all his life. When they were around 4 or 5 years old, both caught colds. The hospital treatments went wrong and left them deaf and mute. There were quite a few people like them from that generation, but no one ever took responsibility. So they just accepted it, lived their lives in silence. That's why people called me the dumb kid, the child of the deaf and mute. That label followed me until I was 30, in 2016, when I left China. After that, no one knew. My maternal grandfather was named Gao Kaizuo, my grandmother Wu Ziolan. My paternal grandfather was Ma Hequan, and my grandmother Chinan Nu. I grew up at 3 Gulu East Alley, Taizhou City. The house had a big yellow wooden gate, half rotten, with 2 crossbars to lock it at night. On the left side was my grandparents' courtyard, on the right lived my uncle and aunt. Technically, my uncle was the son of my grandfather's eldest sister-in-law. Honestly, the family relations were too tangled for me to figure out, and no one bothered to explain, so I just called people whatever came to mind. My grandparents' courtyard was open to the sky. Everyone called it the Tianjing, the sky well. There was a loquat tree, a winter sweet, a rare blue hydrangea, and plenty of roses and spider lilies. The latter, I only learned years later, was poetically called Manjusaka. To me back then, it was just the dragon claw flower. Along the north wall was a small chicken coop. That yard was my whole world. I got into all kinds of trouble there, climbing, digging, poking, breaking anything a boy could do that didn't cost money. We were poor, and my grandmother had to stretch every cent just to keep us fed, so fun had to be homemade. I never went to kindergarten. My grandmother tried once. She dropped me off, but as soon as she left, I slipped out the back door and wandered around the streets for over an hour before finding my way home. The teacher refused to take me after that, afraid I'd go missing. So I became my grandmother's shadow instead. Back then, people were terrified of child kidnappers, especially boys. She used to tie one end of a string to her waistband and the other around my wrist, just to make sure I didn't disappear. In a way, their whole life was tied to me. I went to Chengdong Elementary School. The school had this morning snack program around 9 a.m. Every student got a cup of soy milk and a bun. The fillings changed daily, but my favorite was cabbage. My desk mate, a girl, didn't like hers and always gave it to me. Every other Friday, we'd get 8 treasure porridge. It felt like a feast. Fridays were the best days. The boys all scrambled to carry the porridge buckets back to the cafeteria after lunch, because whoever did got to skip the food line. I was chubby and strong, so I never lost that race. What am I even writing here? Just a jumble of memories, a stream of nonsense, really. A grocery list of the past. I'll probably quit again soon. Still, I said I'd keep going, so maybe I should. Let this be the beginning. If nothing else, it's a place to start.